So, for as much as people make my case about the Second Amendment, I think my case is equally, if not more so, a First Amendment case. And that's in 2 or 3 different ways, which I'll get to a little later on. It comes down to a matter of First Amendment versus mob violence in the streets. Essentially, the ruling in my case has legalized mob violence in the streets. And the scary part is if they can do it to me, they can do it to you. This essentially legalizes the KKK to go and attack people of color in the street if you apply the same standard of what happened to me. And the person of color whom they're targeting is the one guilty of crimes if they try to stop the KKK members from harming them. Very scary precedent for everybody. I'm someone who has always supported civil rights for everybody, constitutional rights for everybody. I look at my case as less an issue of left wing, right wing, whatever, and more an issue of civil rights in general. So I sort of started off in this whole journalism thing sort of as a hobby. I enjoyed going to events, filming things that happen in the streets. I looked at what I do a lot like an observational style of work, fly on the wall. I like to go to events. I like to be a fly on the wall. I like to put the viewer into what's going on. And I would post most of my videos with minimal commentary, minimal narration, just showing what happens at protests, at politicians' town halls, at things that happen here at PSU or PCC. There's various different things that were not being covered by the mainstream media that I felt needed attention. So I just started posting these up on my YouTube channel, and these grew over time. I eventually got a job blogging. I eventually started selling my videos to news outlets. My videos and stories have been featured on Fox News, MSNBC, Time Magazine, the Nigerian Herald even covered one of my stories. Yeah, that was the one. You guys may have seen the ad for State Senator Chuck Riley when he said slavery was right for the time. Democrat, of course. So I filmed him saying that at one of his town halls. And that made international news right there. And the guy who was running against him in this last election was using that in one of his ads there. So yeah, there were international news outlets hiring me, commissioning me to go and cover events in the area. They were buying videos from me. This eventually morphed into my actual job, my primary source of income. As 2016 rolled on, Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! No, fuck you, Michael! No, pointed a gun at me, so fuck you! No Nazis in our school! No Nazis in our school! No Nazis in our school! Bail Nazis out! Bail Nazis out! Bail Nazis out! Bail Nazis out!
Oh no, I'm gonna say. So you have a problem with first state territory? Michael, you pointed a gun at me, so fuck you. This is what you did. You pointed a fucking gun at me. Would you like to speak? No. He just doesn't get to fucking speak.
I came here to have a speak.
You want to have a conversation? No, you pointed a gun at me. You passed the point of conversation.
You were one of the ones who participated in the attack on me then?
I didn't fucking touch you, man. And you fucking pointed a gun at me.
Then don't pick fights with people in the street. If you don't want someone to pull a gun on me, don't pick fights with people in the street.
Never pick a fight with you.
If you're saying that I pointed at you, you were one of the ones involved in it. You never put your finger on the trigger, I think, right?
Officer pointing your gun at me and everybody else.
Officer Hickey,
Okay, let's all move up so we can hear Michael. So go ahead. Speak to us.
Do you think this makes you look any better, dude? Like, do you think this helps you in any way, shape, or
Oh, it's totally fucking. Welcome to Portland. I love how
I'm confident when you say that.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm willing to take your hand and have a conversation.
He doesn't want to have a I don't want to have a conversation with me. You pointed a gun at me. I'm done with conversation.
You just want to shut people down. That's all you want to do.
If you're so
Confuse
scared,
disrupt employment. Is that what your motive?
why did you show up to an event you don't have an idea?
I'm scared. Yeah, that's called fucking bravery when I show up to my fucking, the guy that pointed a fucking gun at me.
If you don't want to hurt you, don't take rights to people. Oh, I can't do. You know, soldiers will have guns laying there all day long to protect your right to do this.
Cool. What about exercise my right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nice case of whataboutism. I'm not here on pump.
Why do you want to drop?
Because fuck him. Because fuck him.
That's a better argument.
That's the best argument.
You condone a bunch of mad people separating people in person and attacking them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So you don't know what you're talking about. Somebody to leave.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe you can close your racket and get some information for a change instead of just shutting yourself down. Maybe you can learn something. You obviously don't know the facts when you walk in here, do you? Yeah, you don't.
Even his friends left. Even his friends are too embarrassed to come.
I'm being triggered by that bell. Can we do something about that? I was raised around
You
angry
believe in
cows.
self-defense?
Angry cows.
You believe in self-defense? You don't believe in self-defense?
I don't believe that his pulling a gun was self-defense.
What?
The state would disagree with you.
What about 12 guys going out in black clothes? Was that self-defense? Apparently you haven't paid too much attention to
As far as I can tell, I've been totally successful. I've shut this entire shit down all by myself.
You know, it's just a matter of
No, I'm just deplatforming. You're platforming, that's what you're saying. I'm kicking his platform out from under him.
well, I don't think
See, all the cameras are pointing towards me.
I guess I'm going to do it.
Hey, why'd you hit me? Why'd you hit me? Why'd you hit me? Why'd you hit me? Why'd you hit me?
Whoa, no, don't hit me. Hey, knock it off, dude.
Why'd you bump into me? Nobody hit you.
So you get tired of mom's basement? So Michael, tell us the rest of it.
Oh, have you checked some therapy out yet? I really think you need some. You need to talk about your anger issues. That's your little weenie.
I'm not mad, you're mad.
You need to talk about it. I'm not mad. I'm
Why are you approaching
disgusted.
me?
I'm disgusted with
Why are you
pigs
approaching me?
like you.
Fuck you, Michael.
You're
Hi, you're a pedophile.
Your mother's a pedophile.
Oh, no, you're a jail for touching kids. This guy went to jail for touching kids.
That's another one of your fucked up facts you don't have straight. You can't talk. You can't have a conversation. You don't know your facts. You don't know shit. All you can do is confuse and stuff and torment. That's all you know how to do.
Please don't touch me.
When are you gonna grow up? When are you gonna grow up?
Thank you very much.
Have you seen Trump therapy yet? I mean, you must have PTSD.
I need a camera.
Getting over all this stuff.
Camera on me.
I really feel for you. You really have that years ago I worked. Yeah. I can tell that you're late work. You're trying to do it. Masturbate all the time. And maybe you like to slip candy. I don't know. I can lie. Why do you get off of it? What?
I successfully shut this down. I'm good.
Don't you ever worry about ramifications for your actions?
Yeah, don't you ever worry about ramifications for yours?
I do, all the time. I didn't make it to 55 years old by being a fuck up.
Well, I haven't fucked up yet. I haven't gone to jail yet.
Well, yet is a big key. You got really bad breath though. I'll give you that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll keep you from just getting fucking in my face.
I know, I'm gonna say real close.
I'm not gonna kiss your geriatric mouth.
Well, I got a nice little butt for you. Nice and tight little butt. You can lift that thing.
If this is all I need to do to shut you down, this is fucking easy.
Oh yeah. I still want to know what's wrong with you, buddy. It's really
Michael
something
pointed a gun at me.
So
here
get
I am.
over it. Life happens. Life happens.
Look, if somebody
Get
pointed a gun
over-
at
I've
you,
been
would you allow
shot.
them to speak?
I've been shot before.
Yeah.
Don't give me no crap.
What do you do?
You're leaning.
What do you do when
I
you get
bled.
shot?
I
You
bled.
bled? You
Yeah.
bled? Okay.
I got mad and I moved
You
on.
got mad, didn't you?
But
I got mad
moved on.
too. I got mad.
Moved on.
Well,
Move
that guy
on.
pointed a gun at me, so I'm here.
Move on.
When did you move on?
Oh, probably about 3 weeks afterwards when I got out of the hospital.
Oh, where did you serve?
I didn't serve anywhere. I was shot in the city.
Oh,
By an
yeah?
asshole. Where?
Well, good
I
for you.
never got caught. Where?
Good for you.
I got overshot.
Did somebody call for more cowbell? No? No?
I think you made a mistake. I think you thought this was a farming thing.
Don't fucking bump into me, buddy.
Don't bump into me. Does hearing damage count?
Something like that. Okay, stop.
Now you can get the fuck out.
Michael's not speaking, so I'm just gonna sit here.
What's your name, by the way?
Sawyer.
Okay, cool. So why is it okay that his free speech is more important than our free speech?
I'm just exercising my free speech.
You're just
You have nothing to say, you have no argument.
All right, guys.
Bunch of rat-
All right.
speech.
All right. So what's interesting, though, is thanks to the case law precedent.
Thanks to the case law precedent set in my case, we have the right and legal authority to physically attack him right now for doing this. And he's the one committing a crime if he tries to stop us from doing that. That's the case law that's been set in my case right now. Would you agree with that? Would you consider it to be threatening if we, with masks over our faces, surrounded you, started pushing and shoving you, demanding that you leave a public area? Already did that without the mask.
We can still hear you, Mike.
Well, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
I never saw him in the video where he said that you were pointing the gun at him
Yeah, me
either.
neither.
No, I never
Maybe
seen
he's
that
sitting there.
either.
Maybe he's hiding somewhere.
Just show us your picture.
But this other guy's Cascadian, so it's probably, he's probably Cascadian that basically lied.
Trying to get something?
Well, you're Cascadian, and he's, apparently you two are talking together about how to disrupt the meeting. Yeah, I've seen you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm not surprised.
How loud before it's noise pollution?
You just gotta get really
Man, this is
You just gotta get really
Man, this is radical bell.
You just gotta get really
Just think how much money you could raise for the Salvation Army.
No.
I think he's practicing for that.
You get really
If you're not
before you
racist.
get out.
I think he's practicing for Salvation Army.
If I was not, if I was racist, I would stop for you. Men, women, or
No, don't read that part. That was an option. No, this is all other stuff here. I left off right there, right up there.
All the hippie videos are the first 160 was the first time you think of it. 1,100 videos total, 7 million views.
straight up mean. Because now that's actually getting really personal here. Because you were trying to blind me permanently here. That's really bad. However, yeah, I can. And I don't need water. I can just keep going. Even though... Oh,
Snakes don't usually
no,
need
thanks.
water.
I really don't want to share your germs. I mean, you seem like the kind of guy who carries typhus in his fingertips. You know what I mean? You're absolutely disgusting. No, I won't touch that. I don't know where that's been. I don't know how often you wipe your ass with that hand, but
God, you're a piece of shit.
Woo! Man, I can speak forever.
Your mom must really think highly of you.
Oh, she thinks great things of me from her
bet she
grave.
hates everything about her.
You know,
You wonder why she killed herself. Jeez.
as if my mom. Oh, am I in the way of something?
Why are you so personally invested in shutting this down?
Wow, alright, stand here. Am I in the way of anything? I don't think I'm in the way of anything.
That's non-negotiable, no soup for me.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Oh, yes, that's even better, I love that.
No, not towards me, thank you very much.
This
flag, maybe towards the flag.
Which flag? That one? That flag right over there? You blinded me a little bit. Is there any other?
Michael, I have a question. So you've been to lots of far left events here on campus and just videotaping them. If somebody came up in front of them and just disrupted them like this,
Halliburton tried to kick me out of an event.
What would they have done?
Just to film it.
So they don't just laugh at you?
Flag.
They actually physically try to kick you out.
Yes, Sergeant Halliburton.
Oh my goodness.
Now, outside of the room, in fairness to Halliburton, I understand that it's an information.
So amazing. So cute.
In fairness to Halliburton, I understand that it's an odd situation to have someone filming an event, so I don't necessarily fault him for that. He and I spoke outside for a couple of minutes outside of the room, and we cleared everything up, and I went back in.
Amazing. I would love to
Did you ever feel unsafe in one of those events?
Oh wow, we can go on a date together?
Not to the point where I felt on July 7th.
Oh, alright. Well, you know, that's not too bad. I'm down. I mean, I'm gay, so come and take it.
Well, hey, as it stands right now,
What?
anti-gay people have the right to physically attack you on the streets.
Oh, that's
Physically attack you on the streets.
Oh, that's
They have the legal authority to do that.
yeah, you know, that's been happening all night, hasn't it? That's been happening like for weeks now. There's been people riding around in trucks. They've been rolling up on trans people, gay people, and they end up attacking people. Is that your friend? Is that you that's going around attacking people, or is that just Tiger? Is that just Tiger that does it?
For the civil rights of everybody.
Oh, you say that, but last time you were here on campus, quite a few trans people got assaulted by people that came to your speech last time you were here on
I
campus.
don't believe I've ever spoken to you.
Oh, have you not? Oh, weird. That's so weird. I wonder what gave me that source. Oh, yeah, I just fucking made it up, because I can make shit up if I want. That is so good. You see, that is what's up with my talking. I just make shit up, and I can talk and talk and talk, and sometimes I use real facts, and sometimes I don't. And you would never know the difference, because I can just talk for days. I can talk for hours, I can talk for I have been, yes, that's what I said. That's a real fact. LGBT people have been attacked. Well, you know, I didn't make that up. Well, you know, I can minimize trauma if I want. I've been traumatized enough.
Why do you think you have a case for a First Amendment's right violation?
What?
Are you with the Vanguard?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Geez, you know, a lot of questions you have would probably be answered during the actual presentation. Well, I look at my case first and foremost as a First Amendment case for a couple different reasons. Well, it's rooted in the First Amendment because that's what I had been doing for several years, is exercising my First Amendment rights to freedom of the press. Now, a lot of the protesters didn't like me showing up to events, filming what actually happens. You know, I'm not there to cause trouble or instigate people or anything. I'm just there to film, fly on the wall kind of perspective. And I think that's why they decided to attack me that night on July 7th.
What? Interviewed? Interviewed by who? Oh my goodness. Hi. Hi, my name's Sawyer. You're with PSU Vanguard? Wonderful. I went to PSU
Now
for
he's
3
harassing
years.
women. Jeez.
How was it?
He's harassing black dudes.
How was it?
Did you go,
Are you at PSU right now? Is it a great time?
Tom Sawyer?
Hey,
It's really interesting.
can you harass Andy real quick?
Huh? Why did I decide? Well, because this guy showed up and there was a call put out for people to come in and, you know, put out by Defend PDX and Rose City Antifa, and even students here asked me to come back because they know how annoying I can be. I won't say names. I won't name names because you know what? That would be possibly indicting them if I get charged with any crimes. I don't think I will be, but you know, who knows? Who knows with our legal system today, where the far right gets protected and the far left gets thrown in jail? You know,
Just
that's
like
been
what
a.
happened to me, right?
Oh, no, you got thrown in jail for good
Benjamin
reason.
Friends that
But you know,
physically
I
attacked
don't
me.
believe in jail. I don't believe you should have been thrown in jail. I believe you should have been subject to 5,000 hours of community service. That's what I believe. But that's my own personal belief.
Would he get to keep his guns after the 5,000?
Oh no. Well, yeah, you know, there's no legal system. Oh, well, who cares, really? It doesn't really matter. Oh, wow, he's starting to speak already? Oh.
Halliburton,
No.
Halliburton, Halliburton.
Oh, dear. Well, oh man, whatever shall we do? He started a video and oh no, there's nothing I can do to stop it. Oh well, who knows, whatever shall I do? Oh look, the video's kind of blocked, isn't it? Oh, it's almost as if more people don't agree with you than do.
Like all two of you versus the rest of the room?
What? All two of us?
Yeah.
I
What
don't
is
know
your
how
stake
many
in this
people are
claim of
standing
disrupting the
outside
system?
right now, waiting to come in.
Nothing?
Fuck.
You don't have. What's your stake in this of disrupting the system?
I don't know. I don't even know if there are people
What's that?
standing outside right now. But you know what?
I'm not Micheal Strickland. Are you here to watch this event or disrupt
That's
it?
something else, isn't it? To note that most of
So you're
America
admitting that
doesn't
Micheal
like
Strickland's
I'd like
relevant?
to watch this.
You know,
Hey, I'd like to watch this.
what was it? 70%
Oh,
of Americans
shit.
believe in healthcare for all.
He just called you relevant. What do you think about that? Is this
Well,
guy?
like I said, you know, I never intended to become a public figure, but, you know, here we are.
Are you aware that Hitler
I don't
sat there and forced
You just
people to
made
watch
him
what
more
he wanted to
relevant.
watch, and punished people that didn't?
Is this speech not going the way you wanted it to? Is this going completely? Did you think that you were going to be physically attacked tonight? No fucking way. Was that going to happen? Oh my goodness, that just been
Well,
giving you
at its root, I think it's a First Amendment case. Number one, because people didn't like my First Amendment activities. You know, when I would show up to events to film.
You want to deplatform? Do you want you to stop?
Right. Well, it's in two ways that I think it's a First Amendment case. That's the first part.
And you know what?
When I show up to events, I'm not there to cause
Spewing this bullshit because you know what?
I'm just there to film
I get
what's
to
going
just
on.
spew it all night long as long as y'all pay
So-
attention to me. That just gives me more
Constitutionally,
fuel to go even harder.
Does somebody have a right to be in a public area,
Harder,
filming a
longer,
public
better,
event,
faster,
as
stronger.
part
That's
of their
right.
First Amendment
Daddy
rights to
issues
freedom
it
of the
is.
press?
Who knows?
I don't think anybody's going to argue against that.
Oh,
So
go
if somebody
ahead.
has that right, then does a mob of thugs with masks over their faces and sticks in hand have the legal right and lawful authority to use physical force to prevent someone from doing that?
Can I pivot for a second? Just the allegations that you harassed someone, a person that did pulse
I am into.
The reason that the judge told you that you couldn't
That's
record
true.
it, you couldn't
And you know what? I shut down
I
fascist
told you that
speech.
because it was alleged that you were harassed.
Oh, okay. So that thing you're talking about, the vigil for the yeah. So I was at that again. I was just filming, seeing what happens. I was going to put together a package. I shop it around.
If it was a little
see if
liberal freaking meeting,
again, I'm not there to cause any trouble with anyone. I hardly said anything to anyone. I'm just standing there
You
filming.
said that you sent texts and emails and you called members threatening them.
I'm getting there. Again, it's a complex thing
You
here.
get there.
Right. So I'm just standing there filming when a bunch of people surrounded me, started screaming and yelling at me. It did not reach the level of physical threat that it had reached on July 7th. secondly, there was a row of cops right there, which were not there on July 7th. So that's why I did not feel that there was any kind of physical threat. So John Slaughter was one of the people who took part in that. He's getting in my face, screaming and yelling at me. He screams his phone number into my camera and encourages people to call him.
Does that give you the right to harass him?
I did not partake in any of that. That was all news to me.
Why did the judge say that you did?
Okay, so he'd filed a police report that I didn't even know about until I had showed up for my arraignment on July 8th. And then the prosecutor, Kate Molina, pulled out this phony police report. I call it a false police report that John Slaughter had filed a few weeks beforehand. Yes, where he's making all these crazy accusations that I were doing these things. I don't do that. I did not do that.
That it wasn't a false police report. Did the judge believe it? Yes, that's why. That's why they stopped her from order.
Okay, so I think you're confusing two separate things here. So that was used to justify raising my bail to $250,000.
Yeah, and it was also what the judge used later to decide. They brought that back in there.
Because I've known way
so
more
I didn't do
conservative-
anything what
It's
they're
not-
accusing me
no,
of.
no, no, no.
I wasn't
Wait,
even informed
what?
that
We're
report
not
existed until I had shown up for that arraignment.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't do any harassments. You know,
I can't hear you. What? I
said you're a
can't hear you
fucker.
over how stupid you sound. What?
Don't do that.
Oh, was that a threat of violence that I just heard?
in that phony
Was
police
that a
report
threat of
he
violence?
filed,
You just
he's
said
claiming that I
what?
drove by his house with my hand in the shape of a
What the fuck
gun
is that,
towards him.
man? Don't be violent.
I don't even know who this guy is, except for a few weeks beforehand when he got in my face. I didn't care who he was at that point. In fact, on that evening, when he claims that I did that, you don't want the full story?
I'm sorry, I don't know anybody.
On that
What
evening when he's
is
claiming that I
going
drove by his
on?
house, I was
Oh
caring
my
for two
goodness,
cats that
there's
needed
so
medical
much just
attention.
going on.
You know,
You know,
I don't go around harassing
threaten
people.
violence, man. That's a legitimate threat, and you can't do that. You can't threaten people. That's just something that you can't do. Do not threaten to cold clock people, you old ass.
Or Mike's down.
Randy,
Or my-
Randy, you should get back. Please step back.
It keeps bumping into me.
My event. Here, Randy, I got a good spot for you. Right there. And my spot will be right here.
The old man can't walk.
And now we're gonna watch the video.
Alright, well, I'm not breaking any laws, so says the officer, so I'm good to go for now. I just get
Yes,
to
you are
keep
good to
on
go. Bye-bye.
talking, I get to keep on saying my piece, and if I want to say my piece, I can. You know, my piece is that you're an asshole, and fuck you for pointing a gun at people, fuck you for pointing a gun at me, fuck you for pointing a gun at my comrades.
You should have shot him.
Fuck you. Oh, really? Is that your belief? You believe that you should shoot people that disagree with you politically? Is that so?
Is it okay to gather? Is it okay to gather up a whole group of people to attack
Right
us?
comes
Say it.
out.
Say
Now
it's a
the violent
fascist.
right comes out. The violent right.
Is it okay to
believes
gather
that
up a bunch of people and attack them in a protest?
Oh,
and wait to
what?
defend
What?
themselves?
You mean like the Proud Boys?
Huh?
Yeah, you mean like the Proud Boys?
That's legalized thanks to my
Proud
case.
Boys.
It's legal. What Joey and Tiny do in the streets is legal because of
is
the ruling
it?
in my case.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody is at
wow.
risk of mob violence in the
Well,
streets.
you know,
why.
that's something else, ain't it?
That's one
That,
of the big
you
issues
know,
with my
oh
case.
my goodness. Oh wow. I'm so terrified. That's
I like how you answered my question with a question, though. That shows me you know jack shit about what you're talking about.
There's a mob of people here, and
Isn't that
apparently
great?
they
You
should
answer
all
your question with
attack
question.
me.
Sounds like a leftist.
Woo!
Anybody's gonna get worked up if there's
thing is violence.
Hey, I didn't get worked up when I was surrounded by a mob of thugs. Although they're not
pretty
that,
worked up right now.
You know, I can just talk. I don't pull a gun, did I?
Have we all done it?
No, I'm assuming that you're not armed, just like I'm not.
Harley, he doesn't pour assumption.
I don't got a gun. You don't got a gun.
poor assumption.
Oh, what? Do you have a gun? Are you gonna shoot me? Huh? No? Okay,
If
that's
that
good.
happens, you won't be allowed to talk about it.
Oh my goodness, that was a threat, wasn't it? Did you threaten me? Did you just threaten me? No, no, good.
I made a
That's
joke
good.
as
I was hoping that you didn't threaten me because that would be wrong of you. That would be something very wrong.
How would it be
Oh.
wrong? Free speech?
What, to
Is
threaten
he?
somebody? Threatening somebody
Remember,
isn't
Halliburton,
free
my
speech.
attorneys
The
work
Supreme
on
Court
contingency.
decided that, didn't they? That a
Sometimes I
threat
can't who likes
isn't...
government.
Let's call left as a fancy.
Again, I mean, they're just built on, yeah, I can't fix it.
I have no personal issues with Halliburton. I know he's in a tough situation.
So you're against First Amendment rights?
No, I'm totally.
Yeah, Halliburton was told,
I am exercising.
has been told what to do and what not to do.
If that's the consequence, I will. The First Amendment only protects certain government rules and protects from other private citizens.
Well, wait a minute.
I'm a private citizen, I can speak as much as I
No,
want.
sir, you are a
The First
moron.
Amendment only protects you from the government.
You are a
It only
complete
protects you
moron.
from officers.
He's a private moron.
You're a
But-
private citizen moron.
All right, that's
Walking
fair.
around with your
Wait a
clothes
second.
on.
He says he's an anarchist, so therefore he
Exactly, I
doesn't
am.
believe in the
Yeah,
government,
go
and yet he
ahead.
hides behind the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh, isn't that interesting, isn't
If you would
it?
listen
It's
to what
as
he's
if the First
saying.
Amendment is the law that applies currently because it's upheld by the
But if you
force
don't
of the
believe in
police.
government as an anarchist, why are you hiding behind it?
I never said I didn't
With a
believe in
$300
government.
check, you're an anarchist.
I did say I'm an anarchist,
By
but an
definition,
anarchy is just non-hierarchy, not non-government. You don't know what anarchy is then. If you just think that it's non-government, that's not anarchy. Anarchy is choosing what is best for you. Anarchy is deciding what your life path should be and following it to the fullest
Your
extent.
life path,
You're giving
literal.
libertarians a
My
bad
life
name.
path might be being an asshole or being a moron, but at least I can stop here. So it's good to me. I'm having a great time. I don't know about you. You all look very disappointed in how this night happened. Are you
Actually,
having a
it's
good
been a
time?
great night. I've appreciated everything.
This is more interesting than you thought it would be, because he's a boring speaker, isn't he?
Well,
Yes.
You don't know anything about him, but
Given so much ammunition,
well, he also, last time he was here on campus, people got attacked. He is a far-right asshole, and I don't even see him anymore. He's such a coward. Oh, there he went. Okay, never mind. I was about to say he was such a coward that he runs to somebody just talking and ringing bells. Now, it's quite weird that y'all are just so scared of him. Oh, my goodness.
No one's afraid of you.
Do they? Oh. Well, I don't give in to fascist demands. I don't give in
Your
to
mother was
fascist
fascist
demands.
demands.
Oh, that's good. That's rich coming from somebody who doesn't even know my mom and from somebody that has touched children. That's very
Your
rich.
dad has touched
Oh,
children.
you're a pedophile, man. Stop being so weird.
Get your facts straight. No, I have the facts, you say facts, and I was about to total shit.
You know, I've heard
We get why you're here. I am why you're here.
because you're a pedophile and I'm calling you out for that. Why do you hang out with Andy Adams so much, huh? Why do you like Andy Adams so much? Oh, I can walk, I can run, I can do all sorts of things. I don't have legs. You know,
Did you really just call somebody a pedophile? And if so, do you have proof of that?
I do. I don't have it on me, sadly, but I do have proof. If you want proof, yeah, go ahead and write your email address down, and I'll send it to you.
Great.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're inciting violence,
I'm not inciting violence.
stating those things.
I'm just saying.
If you honestly believe in the First Amendment right, then why don't you let him speak and then you speak? Oh, you didn't? No, you're calling people pedophiles.
Yeah, I'm calling somebody a pedophile who is a pedophile. He really is. I mean, I can't deny that. That's a fact. It just is. It's the way it is. Sadly, that pedophile gets to still walk our streets as if, you know.